every company has their ups and downs. So you can get a job as a female if you are credible. But if you are looking for shortcuts, don't be surprised if somebody presents that shortcut. Exactly. I think I'm actually very proud of the fact that I was able to get my first 9 to 5 from my own connections.
So you don't need to wait for connections.
Exactly. You can make your own connections.
When you have a first class, the probability of you getting paid because of your degree might not be fulfilled.
Yeah. So it's not saying the first class itself is a scam. But I think like some people who were able to get it by whatever means they got it have gone to spoil.
Okay, hi. Welcome to another episode of your favorite engineering couple podcast. And today again, we're going to pick it up from where we stopped last week, where my co-host requested to continue her journey, especially her work experience at Tranos. But to show you that we listen and we follow all your comments, I think someone asked, what does it mean to have a first class? And it's actually in the Nigerian system, it's when you have a distinction or you graduate with a distinction, somewhat like that in the United States or in many other countries.
I think you say high distinction or something like.
Oh, is there a high?
Yeah, there's a high distinction.
Okay, yeah. So, but I think that's what it is. As you see, please, as you've seen, please post your questions. I will take your questions always. Again, please like, subscribe, share, comment. I'm not good at this, but please, it's gonna help our channel to grow, and we hope to have a larger audience so people can hear what we say.
Yeah,
and join us in this wonderful experience. So without much ado, let's go into the topic for today. So last week she spoke about the fact that her journey through NYSC, and then she started working at a company in
Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes, the popular Lagos.
Oh, yeah. Lagos is popular.
Yeah.
And I think there's one misconception people have, especially Nigerians, to say, oh, the picture of Nigeria is bad all over the world. I think I bet to differ.
No, I've had people say, like, where do you grow up? And I said Lagos is no, I didn't grow up in Lagos, but like,
where are you from?
Where are you from? I say I'm Nigerian. I say, oh, is it Lagos? And I'm like, oh no, I grew up in Ibadan, which is very close to Lagos, but I worked in Lagos, so the whole fiasco. So they know Lagos as firstly a place where a lot of people come from, and also they know Lagos as like a business,
a business hub.
Okay. Yeah, so they know a lot of companies that are in Lagos. Yeah. They know a lot of like even foreign-owned companies in Lagos. So like it has a very good rep. Yeah,
because usually people just say, oh, blah blah blah, Nigerians have bad rep and all of that. And I think there's one thing at least probably for those who have not left Nigeria, they don't understand that there's a Black American set of people, who are
don't cast them,
who are different, and so it's not like when they see Black people, they're just like, oh no, there's a reason why they do that. So it's not because your Yahoo is a small business, but let's not deviate from it. That was just I think a deviation. So let's come back to Tranos. So the company Tranos. So let's start. Why? The first thing I'll ask is, why did you eventually leave freelancing to go for a 9 to 5?
Okay, so first off, my first reason, because I cannot use money, because I was making a whole lot of money and I was not really spending much since I was not like going out.
You mean was it consistent money?
No, but sometimes you hammer some, you hammer small, you unhammer the next month, but like
so the hammer means sometimes you hit it big.
Yes, yeah. So sometimes. So I had enough savings to even carry me through the year.
Wow.
Yes, and I knew that it cannot be that bad that I will not get another like long-term project.
Sorry, to pause you, you said you wanted to hit your goal to be a millionaire in Naira. Did you hit the goal?
No.
Oh, okay. No. I'm sorry.
Well, I was very close, but I didn't.
Okay, so let's continue.
Yeah, so first off, I wanted like a real world experience.
Yep.
Like not just a real world, but I wanted like an engineering experience. Like I wanted to be involved on site, Like that's like because I had experience with AEA, like my
AEA
AEA, yeah, AEA is back again. So I loved like going out on projects, like traveling. I traveled to Abuja for projects. I traveled to like Lagos for projects, even though I was interning in Ibadan.
Wow.
Yeah, so like it was. I worked on government projects. I worked on like a lot of projects, and I liked it. Like I don't know, the rush is always there. Like to want to like go out and see things and work on in other
applications. And
application. Like so that was the experience I had, and freelancing. It has its good and bad. So one of the bad is that you're just like almost trapped in your house, except you're intentionally about going out. And really, I'm not the person that goes out like that. So if I was freelancing, that means I'm going to be in my house, except I'm going to church. So I just wanted that real life experience of going to a job. And I think at that time I was getting lazy because like I could define my hours, like I knew when to work. Sometimes I might be oversleeping, like, but I wanted something to keep me back on my toes. So I just wanted it. So it was the reward experience. I wanted order in my life.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's why you left the freelancing. So did you completely leave it, or you were still sourcing for jobs?
I was still sourcing for jobs. I was still like looking out for larger projects. But I think I left. So I was on different platforms, and even anybody that knows freelancing, I started with freelancer.com.
Okay.
So that was.
And you got a t-shirt.
I was forced to get a t-shirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Because my money was tied up, and I wanted to spend it. You remember that time?
Yeah.
So I don't want to go back in because that was like
freelancer.com with the blue.
The bluebird. Yeah. So that's where I started from. Then I moved to PPH. That's People Per Hour.
People per hour. Okay.
Yes. Then I moved to Upwork.
Okay.
Upwork, yeah. Upwork. So Upwork was where I got like bigger contracts, and freelancer.com. People Per Hour, I got like a couple of jobs here and there, but not really as much as my Upwork and freelancer.com. So I wanted to leave freelancer.com and PPH. That I call it PPH. That's People Per Hour. Completely.
Yeah.
And just focus on Upwork because I know a lot of people that build careers on Upwork. So and I know people that earn like thousands of dollars on Upwork. So I wanted to like block my eyes from the remaining from the other two and just focus on Upwork. So I closed my accounts. Wrong move. So I closed my accounts.
You closed your account on Upwork?
No, on freelancer.com.
Okay.
And People Per Hour. So that I was going to force myself to focus on Upwork alone. So I was on Upwork and got some jobs, but it was not as regular.
This was just before you joined Tranos?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get the job at Tranos?
Okay, yeah. So I mentioned in the previous episode that after the Jobberman training, I got active on LinkedIn. So I was posting on LinkedIn, connecting with people, talking to people, and I think I knew about Tranos like when I was like Google searching like engineering companies, and then I saw Tranos. I was like, oh, looks interesting, but like I don't think they were not hiring at the time. So I just like. I applied to different other jobs. No, I came to Lagos for a different interview. So
we're gonna speak about that, but let's.
Yes. So Tranos actually, I got from someone I connected with on LinkedIn. I think it was Joshua.
Okay.
Yeah. So he told me that like we had spoken before about like engineering stuff. We already had a previous conversation. Yeah. So when there was an opening, he told me that they're looking for like somebody that the company is opening a new line and they need like an application engineer. And am I interested? I said yes. So I sent him my CV. He sent it to the HR. So that was how I was invited for the interview.
So was that the only interview you had at that period?
No.
Okay. So what other interviews did you have?
I think I had like 3 or other interviews lined up for me.
So this came from the CV you posted, or you knew people? Because there's a widespread knowledge in Nigeria. You must know people to get jobs.
No.
Okay.
It was only Tranos that I knew someone.
Okay.
Or that was
who you met on LinkedIn.
Which I met on LinkedIn based on my top-notch networking.
That you had learned from Jobberman.
That I learned from Jobberman and built over built. So it's not like after the Jobberman, I was just like, okay, thank God I have it. So I built it afterwards. So the other
just to
jobs.
Say, it's not the father of one father that knows one father.
No. So I think I'm actually very proud of the fact that I was able to get my first 9 to 5 from my own connections. from our own connections. Like it was not like someone knew somebody that knew somebody.
Okay.
So, but the other jobs that I got an offer, not an offer, but I got like a call for interview.
You want to speak about one of the jobs you had?
I won't say the name,
okay.
But like I was called for an interview, which I was kind of interested in, and I went for the interview. Mm-hmm. So I went to Lagos for the interview. That one I applied. I just sent my CV. No, I'd already revamped my CV, so it was not the rubbish CV I was sending initially. So I revamped it. So I was called for the interview, and I went to Lagos for the interview. Mm-hmm. And so I think I did the. I think I did an exam. No, I think I just met with like the panel.
Okay.
They asked me questions. They said, "Oh, I'm good." So the last stage was to meet with the MD.
Okay.
This MD CEO. And I met with him. I think I was called back to meet with him. So I went to see him. And he was like, that was the very first time I had this issue of that I knew that somebody had issues with having a first class graduate.
Okay.
So he was like, these first class graduates, like they always like feel pompous that because they have a first class, like everybody must.
They're always proud.
Yeah, they are proud. Everybody must like bow to their bow on their feet or bow to their faces for them. I was like, did I exude that? But anyway, so he was like, first class graduates are somehow that he prefers like 2-1, 2-2 because like at least those ones.
A 2-1 or a 2-2 would be a second class upper division and a second class lower division.
Yes.
That would be like I'm trying to relate it with the American audience.
It's like a credit or
okay, but it's just below distinction, just the next one below, just like B or something like that. Okay.
Yeah. So he was like he prefers them because he feels like they have something to prove. So because we have first class,
we'll try to work
extra harder because they feel like okay, they are not up to par academically, so they can like work harder. While what he believes that we that have a first class, graduated with the first class, we feel like we've achieved something, so we might not put in as much effort as.
This is the first time I'll hear that.
Yeah, so that was what he said. And number 2, I'm a female, which.
In an engineering setting.
Funny enough, was a problem for him because he felt like, oh, this lady. He said it to my face, said everything to my face, and was like, he knows that females, like after like a couple of months of working, they will see one boy, they will say they're in love, they will get married. But this man, I believe he's married with children. I don't know why he.
So the issue he had was you getting married.
Yeah, the issue he had was me being female and me going to get married because, quote unquote, the job is demanding.
Okay.
And he will need somebody that like puts his or her full attention on the role. But I was still trying to tell him that okay, yes, I think another issue was that first class graduates also feel like their career path is to go for a PhD or a grad program. Yeah, so I think he mentioned that.
Which the prophecy was. The prophecy was fulfilled.
Yes, I think those are
is fulfilled.
Yeah, so those are his 3.
That was the first job you got before Tranos.
No, I was given an offer, but I did not take it.
Okay, yes. I think that was on Lagos Island.
I said that was called the name.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not saying the name. It could be any company. It could be, Skype.
It was Lagos Island.
I'm just joking. It was not. I call those companies because they're one of the biggest companies in Nigeria.
Yeah, so it's actually a very nice company. But I don't have any beef with the company. In fact, when someone was asking me like, okay, do I know companies in Lagos that deal with this setting? I said, go to this company. I feel like they're good and they might take you. So I don't have any issue with the company. So
the whole interview experience, I want to say this for now, but we might not probably speak about it with some people. Have you, in all of your interview experience, have you had any sexual move? Like saying, you must do this before you do get this?
Nope, never.
Okay. So you've never had that?
Never.
Okay. So okay. So the interview experience you had at that company on the island, eventually you turned down the offer, but you got the offer.
Yes.
Okay. So why did you turn down the offer?
First off, I think at the time I also had the offer from Tranos.
Okay, so
Tranos already.
So both interviews were at the same time.
Almost at the same time. Okay. I think I did the interview with the other company first.
Okay.
I got the offer. I think almost like same day, or maybe like a couple of days before Tranos' interview was to I was supposed to go for the Tranos interview.
Okay.
So when I got it, I was like, I like the company.
Yeah.
Obviously, even with the issues that the man laid out, he still wanted me to work there. So, but I felt like maybe because of the experience I had with the Bells VC. No, not VC. The Dean. So I felt like I don't want to work in a place where I'll have to.
Are you sure?
What?
Because you told us.
What did I tell you?
Told us the cash for the Bells. So.
Well.
Do you also have cash come into play? So when I mean cash, the remuneration or the paycheck?
No, I think the paycheck was good.
On the island?
I think that island issue, I think the distance also was also an issue because I did not live in Lagos.
So she's a mainland babe.
I'm an Ibadan person. Okay. So I came from Ibadan. So
why I said that was because there's a tussle online, mainland, island babes and all of that.
I don't relate. Sorry. He's the one that's critically online with Nigerian content. Yeah, so I'm not so I was an Ibadan person, and even when I was in Lagos, all I knew was the mainland. So I was like, going to island with this money, if it were maybe like times 3 of that, I would have obviously considered, but it was not that compelling for me to want to go there. And also I already knew there was a Tranos there, and I think I was more geared towards Tranos because they're manufacturing industry rather than this other one that was consulting. I don't give out too much information, but it was a consulting firm. Yeah.
So just to again let our viewers know, when you have a first class, the probability of you getting paid because of your degree might not be forthcoming.
Yeah.
I think that's a very, very sincere truth that must be said over and over again. This is not to say it's a scam or what have you, but people don't
I think it's obviously not a scam, but I think maybe probably like I'm trying to now defend the employers here because they've had like some first class graduates, quote unquote, that have not like lived up to expectation or performed up to expectation, and then they're almost like the whole first class thing is a sham. And like some people that have first class found their way to get the first class, like maybe just like cramming and like pouring it out,
like no proper understanding.
Exactly. So maybe they've had those experiences. So I don't blame them. I don't blame some of them. So when they see like a first class graduate, there's always that reservation of, is this another?
This is an authentic person.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that is to their defense. So it's not as if the first class itself is a scam. But I think like some people that were able to get it by whatever means they got it have gone to spoil the ground for us.
Or I've had another argument, if we're being sincere, where people say, why didn't you work in the university?
Yeah, exactly. So they feel like first class is for academia. Like so they start dealing with 2-1, 2-2,
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that has made me over the years try to, learn much more skills. So
we've been trying to like prove them wrong that it's not just the first class that we have going for us, like there are other things that we have.
But today is not about me. Today is about it's still about her. So let's come back to your interview experience at Tranos. What was it like?
So I think before I went there, since I knew somebody, they already had asked questions about the company, so I knew one or two things about the company. So I was not going in blind.
Please, let's say it again. The person you met on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn,
It's not like she had... So, because we're trying to demystify a very key notion.
Oh, okay. So it's not like my daddy's friend or something. Exactly. It was based on networking.
Yeah.
So which is a skill that anybody can develop. So it's not as if like he was my brother or my friend or... Okay,
so you don't need to wait for connections.
Exactly. You can make your own connections. I think we're going to talk about it maybe somewhere down the line of like even having societies like the Nigerian Society of Engineers, for example. Like I've met good people there, and those are like other avenues. So LinkedIn, societies, like those job boards and everything. You can meet people in there.
Put yourself out there.
Like to get opportunities.
Okay, so continue your interview experience at Tranos.
Yeah, so since I knew someone there based on like my networking experience on LinkedIn, I was not going in blind.
Okay.
So I'd already done my research about the company. Like I'd seen the good and I've seen even the bad
Your
feedback.
research. Your research. Sorry, that's the Nigerian joke. Research.
Yes, so I'd done that, and I'd seen some even bad information about Tranos.
Okay.
So I almost knew what I was expecting. So on going there, I did the written exam, the computer. I was told I was going to have done it anyway. So I did the computer exam, and then I did the interview with the HR.
Yeah.
So obviously there's some questions that I asked according to, you know how HR asks questions according to the books, like where do you see yourself in 5 years, like all those like generic, I call them generic questions, questions according to the books. So I was prepared for it because I'd done my research and I knew what was in my CV.
Yeah.
And I knew the role that they were hiring for.
Okay.
So I think that also plays a part, because some people I think we've had to interview people.
So some people don't even know the role.
Some people know. Like,
wow.
we have seen CVs. Like, you can testify.
Yeah.
Like, and you see some people and you're like, are you sure you actually read job description before you actually apply for what? Like,
this role.
We are asking for something and you're giving us something totally different that does not apply. And I've seen someone like for a different, not even for that one, a different one. And then I was like, the person hiring listed a specific skill.
Yeah.
You don't have the skill, and yet you're submitting a CV. For what purpose? Like, are you just submitting the CV just to submit something? Like,
or just to hope that he or she will learn? Sometimes, some people say, I don't want to quote.
What?
I wanted to quote a quote from the scriptures, but I don't want to do that. But so people just have that faith that they will just pick it they just throw themselves out there.
It's not a bad thing, but sometimes you have to be intentional with your casting your seeds, or casting your bread.
Yeah. But I think you can still throw your.
No, you can.
You can, but you should show that the ability to learn, because really sometimes I think for all of the job roles, including when you're coming for your PhD, really. Mm-hmm. What you're going to come and do might actually be something you're new to, but it's the ability to learn that just makes you stand out. But when people, someone who has not demonstrated any form of, a continuous learning process, is just submitting a CV.
I think it also depends on the role. Mm-hmm. So for like entry level, they don't expect you to have like a ton of. You're not expected to have like a ton of experience. Yep. But yes, that's the time to demonstrate like your ability to learn. And your like resilience, your being fluid, like having like theoretical knowledge and everything. But there are some levels like mid-level. Yeah. At that time, willingness to learn is not the case. Like,
you need to deliver.
You need to deliver, because you're not expected to come, and obviously every job is new. Yeah. So there's still a level of learning and a level of flexibility that is expected at every role. Yeah. So whatever you had, the experiences you had from company A may not be applicable completely to company B or to role B. So like, you should know how to relate like a particular role, a particular experience, and how it's going to actually affect your next one. So it's not just about like demonstrating an ability to learn, because this one that I'm talking about, I think I'll show you later. I don't want to cast the person, but like the person, it's kind of like a mid-level position, and for the first thing I was going to check was when the person graduated. And somebody that is hiring for a supervisory role will not employ someone that just graduated last year
at all,
because it's not exactly, you understand the point.
You're not as skillful as that.
Yes.
And you might even be power intoxicated. So how was your experience at Tranos, the interview experience?
So the interview experience actually went fine. Since I was prepared for it.
Did you get any backlash because you're a first class student?
No,
Okay.
I did not. I don't think they were actually, they're hiring for a certain role, so they didn't really dwell on that. So, but I didn't get any like backlash at the time of application, at the time of the interview. Working there, different ballgame, but like at that time, I didn't have any issues.
Okay, so but to just sum it up, as I said, did your degree, was it mainly because of your degree, or there was something that, because I think you're not the only one who applied, and you were the one who got the job. So why was it? Because you probably saw the chairman behind?
No, I didn't.
Hook up because no. We have to be sincere. That's how people say, oh, and they just see a lady and say, oh, it's because of she just.
Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah, because I think in a way, like we've heard a lot of stories like it's almost expected.
Yes.
So like going for interviews, I'm always having that but no, nobody really send you. Like it's not about that. It's about what can you do. So I think some people actually use that as an excuse to not. Maybe for example, maybe you did not deliver and then you were sacked and say it's because you not agree to sleep with this thing. So I'm not saying that people that say this thing they are lying, but I'm just saying some people might actually overblow it.
Yeah. So
you can get
valid.
Yes. Yeah. So you can get a job as a female if you are credible. Okay. But if you are looking for shortcuts, don't be surprised if somebody presents a shortcut. Exactly. So if they know that this person knows her onions, like I don't think they should be throwing rubbish at you.
Okay. Again, probably you've been fortunate.
Yeah, you could say that.
And by grace. So because we don't want when it comes to personal experiences, I tend to be very careful. Even when I have, as I said, I'm very, very political. So when I have political discussions with people, when I notice they bring up their personal experience, probably how things have gone, and they're blaming the government or the country, usually I just keep quiet because I know when it comes to personal experiences, I don't have much power for it. I only know what is happening to me and how God has helped me over the years. So lastly, on this topic, working there, do you think the place was toxic? That's one. Please would again we try to promote a lot of on this podcast we don't want to denigrate anyone, so we try to be as sane as possible. So you can be sure you will not hear us go into some of the details, pointing out people, but what can you say you learned from Tranos? Now, not just engineering, also the things you probably might have seen that you hope not to do, so that when you begin, you now employ people. So I should come back to this podcast and say,
you said that.
Yeah, exactly. So let's start with, what was your experience, or how was the experience like for you?
Okay. Yeah. So like you said, like experiences differ.
Yeah.
So I would say your perception also matters. Like,
so your perception towards life.
Yes, your perception towards life, like how you view life, actually matters too. So if you see yourself as this company is bad, anything that happens to you, you feel is bad. If you see like, okay, this is a learning platform for me, that is what you're going to be invested in. So for me, every company has their ups and downs. So, but I love the experience I had at Tranos because it gave me an opportunity to learn. First off, it gave me that structure I was looking for.
Okay.
So I wanted to understand how a company is structured. And I worked in a department where I was able to actually fully understand how each department works together, the reporting structure, like the hierarchies and everything, and what processes, like the processes, document control. I always mention like trying to get things organized at the start. So
I don't care. Just deliver. I really don't care about it. So but I think, thank God she's here.
Yeah, so it's a place like that actually got me exposed to that organization. Like the whole concept of organization, like it's organized. This is because if you don't have that groundwork or that structure, a lot of things will be chaotic. Wow. Like there's some things that like you don't know what documents is flying around, like you don't know anything, you cannot track anything because you don't have that structure. So I think I learned that structure. So I learned that from Tranos, which was what I was like aiming to. One of the things I was aiming to learn in like an organization. Yeah. So I also learned like how the whole manufacturing workflow, production workflow, from the client's brief down to quality assurance, quality and testing and all. So I was able to understand the whole workflow. Yeah, sorry, just to give them a good PR. What are the things what do they manufacture? Just some of their products. Okay, yeah. So Tranos, yeah. So the product I was hired for, they manufacture gaskets, spiral wound gaskets, and soft cut gaskets. So you mean do they manufacture in Nigeria? Yes, they do. They have a big plant. I think they have 2 factories now. and they manufacture gaskets like in-house.
So
And the gaskets are also certified.
Okay.
We tested them in Germany. I'm giving them PR.
Yeah.
So it's tested in Germany in a German lab, a well-recognized German lab, and it came back. So I'm really proud of the fact that I'm also part of the team that also got the gasket certified.
Wow.
Yes, so it's certified, which means that oil and gas people, you can always...
Companies.
Yeah, oil and gas companies, you can always purchase from. You don't have to import your gaskets. You can always buy gaskets. It's available in-house at a reasonable price.
Okay, so
they also make electrical
let's
panels.
just give them one product.
Okay.
Tranos, we're
so
gonna
you can go to their
guys.
website. Yeah, you can go to their website.
We're gonna tag them. We could, also publicize more of their products, and who knows, that might be our first endorsement.
I doubt it.
Tranos, you could put her to shame. So let me speak like what some of the journalists I follow. They say we want to call you out to sponsor us. But that's aside. But I wanted us to clear the fact that we make statements like we don't produce in Nigeria at all.
Oh no, we do.
That we don't even produce toothpicks and all of that. So
so the thing about production is that you as a company owner, you're trying to make profits.
Yeah.
So it's not something that is of business or economic benefit, not economic, business benefit. You're not going to make profits from it. Mm-hmm. It's not. You're not looking to just manufacture for the sake of manufacturing in Nigeria. Yeah. When you look at the cost of maybe the machines, because I know like Tranos spent a whole lot of money getting the machines down to Nigeria. The cost of clearing, because there's a lot of costs than even the material costs. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that goes into it. So and then you have to employ people that know about the machine. If you don't know, they have to be trained. Okay. So there's a lot of costs that go into it.
Okay.
So it's not like we just want to we're not producing a country that when it's cheaper to import than to spend a whole lot of money bringing down machines and equipment and everything like. So I don't blame. So there's manufacturing going on in the country, obviously, but that's not that.
So just to wrap it up, my producers are already on my neck again. So let's just wrap it up with when did you leave Tranos? I think I know why, but when did you leave Tranos, and what was the major lesson how did you tell them you wanted to leave? Because I think that's another very good, because the truth is my generation will say you could drop your letter over text, and I don't think that's a good way to leave companies, because obviously you might have reasons to come back or to speak to people or to get recommendation. So how did you leave, and do we have like an example of to make other people see how to leave a company?
So I did not when I was planning to leave Tranos, I was not looking to just sever ties with the company, because like I said, I don't have beef with any company. Anybody that owns a company or runs a company, especially in Nigeria, is actually doing a good work, a great job, because they are working with people, and people how our people can be. So I would say like I have no beef with the company. It's not like what they did to me or what happened is because of my reaction. I had my reasons for going, but like I did not just throw my letter, because I have some people that just send their letter and then they disappeared. So I was supposed to give like a notice. I think a 2-week notice period. I think was it 1 month? I think it was a 1 month notice that I had to give. So even though I was like I wanted to leave earlier, but
you had to stay.
I had to stay and give my notice that okay, this was when I intended to leave, and also I had to start preparing my handing over documents. Okay. So it's not like I just up and left and then whatever, I don't care what exactly. So I had to do all of those, and I was working on some in fact there was also a project I was working on that was not my primary assignment, but I just wanted to do it because I felt like it's going to be helpful to the department. No, even to the department.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was doing it for them. I was working on Power Automate to automate some processes just to make life easier for them. So that's what I was doing, and I had to wrap it up and then hand over, like even train the team that this is how it's used and everything, so that they don't know how to call me, because I didn't want to be called.
Yeah.
So
you were done.
Yeah, I was done. So, but I still didn't want to leave them high and dry, because it's not going to be fair on their part, because there's some people that are in the team, and then I know that if I had gone like that, they will be the one to feel the heat. So I didn't want that to happen. So I just did what I was supposed to do, and I left.
Okay, so yeah, and that was how she left, and I think from there she just came for research, and thank you again for joining us. It's just to show again how you can have that progressive move, and we're going to have many other many other life expectancies in jobs and some other things which we're going to do. But for now, that was her journey, leaving school, and we see that the first class played a role, probably yes or no.
It played a role, good, bad, sometimes good, sometimes bad notions, sometimes it actually opens doors and like, oh wow, first class.
Yes,
here's the person.
It's not a straight meal ticket.
No.
You have to do something.
Yes.
So in the next episode, I think I'm gonna be.
Yeah, he's going to be the next. Yeah, so I'll ask him questions.
Yeah, and if you want to join, if you want to ask me questions, you could post some of your questions, and then we'll answer. And we'll also have those questions being asked.
So we can have like a Q&A.
If
you have like enough questions for a Q&A. If not, we can just answer in the comments.
I think one of these days we might have to probably host
a
live session.
Yeah.
Where you could ask us questions around different things. And we'll try our best. We're not there yet.
Yeah. We've not attained yet.
Yes, and we're not the wisest one, but we just wanted to join our journey. Taking our journey, and I'm sure this is going to reach many other universities in Nigeria. As a student on campus, what to expect with life, and I hope that this would bless many people.
Yeah, and I think we should not be too for those that are still in school.
Yes.
I thinking okay, what next? Some people are actually very scared with leaving school because they don't know what is out there for them. But I think that leap of faith, it might not be all smooth.
Obviously.
But I think it's an experience that you actually will appreciate down the line.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Again, join us next week. I'm gonna be here, and she's gonna be here.
Yep.
Again, see you guys next week.
Bye.
Next time on Engineering Couple Podcast.
What was your expectation leaving school, and what was the reality you faced?
This is it. We sold the dream, and the dream was a nice dream. Get it, your life is made, and was my life made after?